Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another YouTube video with your boy Pollux the Wise. I hope you guys are doing absolutely froggin' splendid, taking care of yourselves, and as always, staying safe. First things first, I want to talk about today's episode, which is going to be an introduction debut into a series where we learn how to modify the game Kingdom Rush Vengeance on Steam. Now, I know this sounds very exciting, and I'm sure it's a topic that many of you guys have been wanting to learn more about since we've finally been able to modify not only Kingdom Rush Vengeance, but all of the other various Kingdom Rush games now as of late. So, before we just hop straight into the code and start modifying things, there are some things you guys are going to want to keep in mind and take care of first before we get started. So, first things first, you guys are going to want to make sure that you have a copy of the game on Steam. This might sound like a pretty obvious thing, but if you guys have this on mobile, this is not going to work. You're going to want to have the copy of the game on Steam, not only because it's not going to work if you're trying to do this on mobile, but also because if you have the game on Steam, you're going to have access to all of the content that would normally be considered premium on mobile in the Steam version. So you're going to have access to all of the different OP dragons, all of the different OP towers in the Steam edition. And the best part is, because of that, we can modify all of those different things. So we're not limited as far as what we can modify here on Steam. Let's say that you already have a mod installed and you want to start over from scratch and you want to reset all of your progress so that you just have a fresh template, fresh code, nothing's been changed. So if you want to do that, basically you're going to want to go to Kingdom Rush Vengeance, open it up in your Steam library, don't open the game. You're going to want to right click on the name of the game in your library that you're wanting to reset. You'll go to Properties, you'll go to Local Files, and then you're going to verify the integrity of the game files. Now, I've already done this myself, so if you guys were to have clicked this button and you needed anything reverted back to its original code, basically Steam is going to go find those files, and then it's going to automatically download them for you so that you have the most accurate, up-to-date version of the game as far as the vanilla game is concerned. Once you've done that, basically, the next step you're going to want to do, and I would personally recommend this if you're somebody like me who's not the most organized or doesn't have the best memory, you're going to want to go to your File Explorer. And this is going to be your primary tool for getting around to the different files that you want to modify inside of Kingdom Rush Vengeance. And Notepad is going to be your other useful tool, but we'll get to that shortly in a second. Essentially, what you're going to want to do, pick a file, folder, or group file. It doesn't really matter which one it is. It could be your desktop, could be downloads, whatever. I just choose documents because it's easy for me to remember. But essentially what we're going to do is create a new folder. If you don't know how to do that, you're going to right click anywhere where it's empty on the screen here and click on New and then go to Folder. You're going to see this pop up over here. Okay, it started down there, but now it's up here. Any case, you're going to see this blue highlighted name inside of this text box. Now we can name this newly created folder whatever we want. I'm just going to call it Kingdom Rush Vengeance, or KRV, Original Code, in all caps so that it stands out. Now once we've created this folder, you'll see that it has that little refresh synchronization icon, and then it's going to have a green check mark where it says status, and it basically means that it's up to date, it's synchronized, there's nothing left to do. So if we go into the folder, there's nothing in here, which is no bueno. We want to have all of the original code from the game in here, so let's go ahead and take care of that now. The next step is also very important. So this is going to be the file path that you're going to go to get to those game files. If you do not have the best memory like myself, I highly recommend that you write this down somewhere or type it up in a notes on your phone, Google Doc, whatever it takes. So you're going to want to start at this PC. This is going to be the root file point that you're going to want to start at. Then you're going to go to Windows, in parentheses C:, click on that. And then you're going to want to go to Program Files, in parentheses x86. Very important on this step, please do not click on Program Files. That's going to be the wrong file path. Please make sure that you click on Program Files, x86 in parentheses. You're going to want to scroll down to where it says Steam. Now I know that was really quick, so if I'm going too fast, feel free to pause the video, find the option here in the drop-down menu, but you should see it here. Once you click on Steam, you're going to see another list where you're going to see Steam and then Steam Apps. Very important for this step too. Make sure you click on Steam Apps. Do not click on Steam again. Then you're going to see another list. The very first option is what we're going to want to select, which is labeled as Common. Next, you're going to see another list. This is all of the different games, or it should be all of the different games in your Steam library. So you're going to want to click on Kingdom Rush Vengeance. Now that we have all of that done, you're going to see another list of files. Now, this is the point where you think to yourself, oh, Pollux, well, now I can just copy all of this into the folder we just created. No, that's not what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to go into the folder labeled KR4, and this is the point where you want to copy all of these different files. So you're just going to drag with your cursor to select all of the different files, holding down left click, and then just moving your mouse. Once you have every file here on this list highlighted in blue, you're going to want to right click, and you're going to want to click copy. Clicking anywhere off of that, we're going to go all the way back to the original file point, which is this PC, and then we're going to go back to whatever point or location that we created our newest folder so that we could copy our code files from the original edition of this game into. So in my instance, I went back to documents. Yours might be different. It's wherever you created that new folder. So we're going to click on Kingdom Rush Vengeance original code, and now we're here. We're going to right click, and we should see this drop down menu here, and we should see an option to paste. Once we hit paste, it's going to go through the process of copying all those files that we just selected from Kingdom Rush 4 to the newly created file. And as you guys can see here, voila, all of those files are here. Now that you've done this, and you're going to see the status here is still synchronizing, you don't need to worry about that. You can go back out now, because it's going to take a minute to refresh and recognize that the files are all there. But we're going to go back to that file path that we were just in. And we're going to go into one of the code files so that you guys have an idea of what you're dealing with. So we're just going to click on a random folder. I went to settings because this is one of the easiest ones to demonstrate. We're going to click on tower settings. And you're going to see a code file here. So it's a file with a bunch of code in it. And it's going to look something like this. I'm going to go ahead and full screen this so you guys can see this a little bit more easily. And trust me when I say there is a lot of code. There are thousands and thousands of lines of code in these files. So, with such big files, you might be asking yourself, well, Pollux, how do you find anything in this mess? How do you get around easily so that you can find your changes and make them? Well, that is very simple, my dear viewer. You're going to use a tricky tool. It's not the phrase I wanted to use, but whatever. Anyways, you're going to want to use this helpful tool called Control+F. So if I hit that, you're going to see this little box pop up, and it's labeled Find. So this is the Find tool. Now, you're going to notice a couple different things. Find what? This is where we enter the search result that we're searching for. We can make it match case so that it's case sensitive if we happen to label our changes in a certain way. But essentially, I can type in anything here, and so long as there's a search result, when I hit the Find Next button, it will search for that. Now, if there's no search results, we're going to get this little box pop up here, and then we click OK. So I typed in Varuk. Obviously, Varuk's not in this file because this is tower settings, not hero settings. But let's say we wanted to search for a tower such as, say, I don't know, Wicked Sisters. So I'm going to type in the word Wicked. I'm going to hit Enter. And this is the first search result, Wicked Sisters. And voila, we're here. We're where we need to be to start modifying the Wicked Sisters tower. So I can cancel out of that. You can also change the direction for the search results. So right now we have down selected, which means that the next time we hit Find Next, we're going to move down in the code. If we switch this back to up and we hit Find Next, notice how the highlighted blue area of text went in the up direction instead of the down direction. So you can toggle this to be basically whatever you want. If I hit Match Case and I continue, it's going to continue to wherever there's a search result with the lowercase word Wicked. But notice how it's skipping over search results such as up here, where it says Wicked, but it's all uppercase. If, however, I were to uncheck this and then go back up, it gets highlighted because we changed it so that it just takes whatever search result has that term in there and it finds it. But with that being said, there's another helpful trick, which I guess it depends on if you have the settings enabled to display the different lines in each code file. And it's Control+G. So if I type 1, go to line 1, the cursor, it's kind of hard to see up here, but it's highlighted at the very, very top left end of this line right here. So it's all the way to the left of this less than symbol. If I do Control plus G and I enter some absurd number, say such as 10,000, we go all the way down here. So key, close on action, key. That's the 10,000th line of code in this code file, which, like I said, these files are enormous. So the Control Find and Control G tools are going to be your best friends when it comes to getting around this code. And this is normally what you're going to, see when you open any of these code files that you want to edit. Now, I'm not going to explain to you what I'm doing here just yet. I think you guys can kind of figure it out, but we'll obviously explore more of that later on in other episodes. But I'm just going to make a quick change here to one of these towers, and we're going to see what happens when I go to save it. So let's just find any tower to modify. Let's go with the Ember Mage. Oh, I don't have the right direction selected. Excuse me. So now let's just say I want to change the cost of a tower. I'm just pulling this as an example, okay? So let's just say I want to make it 200 at level 1. In order to save your changes, you have a couple different options. You can go to File and Save here, or you could just hit Control plus S. How do you know that your code's saved? When you make a change to the code, you will see a little asterisk appear in the very top left corner here next to the file name where it says tower_settings, or whatever the name of the file is. As soon as you hit Control plus S, that asterisk will disappear. That's how you know that your changes have taken effect, and the next time that you open the game, assuming that you made your changes correctly, they will run. So let's just say I wanted to make this like 1,000. I'm going to save my code. I'm going to exit the File Explorer. You don't have to necessarily do that, but that's what I would recommend doing. You cannot have the game open while you're making changes. That's something very important to note. So if we go into the game here and we select the Infernal Mage, so we already have that selected, so let's just go into a level. And the price of this tower at level 1 should now be 200 gold instead of 100 gold. And voila. I'm sorry. I completely forgot the own change that I made. Holy crap. That just goes to show you guys how bad my memory is. But yeah, it's 1,000 now. And if we had 1,000 gold, we could buy this thing. So let's go into a level where we can buy it. Just to show you guys that this actually does work. Here we go. Now we've got 1,000 gold to work with.
Light my fire.
And if we sell it, we get that 1,000 gold back. So that's how you go about making changes in Kingdom Rush Vengeance, essentially. It's pretty straightforward. So this is the end for this current episode. In the next episode, we are going to dive into the different code files and start messing around with various aspects of the game. And as far as what that's going to be, I'm going to let you guys decide down in the comment section below. Should we modify the levels? Should we modify the wave composition? Should we modify the heroes, the towers? You guys let me know what you guys want to see as the part 2 to this series in the next episode. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. And if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know down in the comment section below. I also have a Discord server. I would be happy to help you guys with any modifications that you guys are currently trying to implement in your own mods of this game. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys have a splendid rest of your frogging afternoons. This is Pollux the Wise. Peace out.